Hi everyone, I'm Scott Schneider. This is Stereo Niche. Hey, this week it is another Marantz piece. This week, the 2330B. Stick around. All right, so let's talk about the 2330B. So I don't have a lot more to add that I probably covered about Marantz in my 2275 review, but for this one, I thought I would talk a little bit about where it came from. I acquired this unit as part of a larger collection. It was a rather substantial collection. It was roughly 25 receivers or so. And in it were about 8 Marantzes in that collection. This was the largest one, and this is also the largest one that I own. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. I do have a 2385. However, it is in need of some significant repair. It's not in as nice a condition as this one is in. So that is actually my largest. But I'll say in working condition, this is my current largest one. The unit, so the 2330 was the third one from the top of the offering of that era. So there was the 2500, which retailed for $1,600. There was the 2385 that retailed for $1,000, and then the 2330 that retailed for $800. And of course, that's a B as well. So it's sort of, the very up in the upper echelons of, the series at that time. So it has lots of functionality, which I'll go through soon. But to me, kind of a sweet spot. I had said in some chats before that if I had to pick a unit of Marantz, I would probably go with the 2275. But after some time, spending a little more time with this one, I think I actually would go with this one. And it's not just the power, but it has, quite a few features here that, I find beneficial. So I think I would probably go with this one. This one has some upgraded LEDs, which I think is kind of intense here. A little more purplish, it seems to make it a little more intense color, a little more violet, I guess. But that was from the previous owner. And I think that's pretty much it. I will show you how good it actually looks, and then come back and we'll talk about the specs here at the end. pretty cool looking. Those lights, they do have a little bit of violet look to them, don't they? A little bit different. Makes it stand out, makes it pop a little bit. Than I think the regular lamps do. But I think there's something about this particular series, this particular model that sort of stands out a little bit than the others. And to me, it looks pretty expensive for the day. And I think it's now, of my collection anyway, of Marantz anyway, I think it's my favorite model that I have. I do have a 2385. I actually have a 2385 2385 Euro unit, but unfortunately it's in pretty bad shape, and not sure if I'll be able to get it back to a fully presentable condition. But I'm gonna give it a try. But this one is quite hefty. I'll say again, it's pretty tough because it sits so low. It doesn't have any significant feet, so it's really hard to get your fingers under there. And once you do get it under there, get underneath it to move it around. It's a pretty solid unit. So let's move into the specs. Let's see. So 79 to 80, right at the end of the 70s, this was available. It retailed for $800. The 2385 was the next step up. That was $1,000, and then the top of the line 2500 was $1,600. So you had to really go up the chain quite a bit, dollar-wise, to get to the top. Moving into the watts here on power, it had 130 watts. Get 20 points for that. Does have a 4 ohm spec, which is seems to be across the board for all of the Marantzes of this era. I think that was at 165 watts, I think I saw. Again, it's not two 4 ohm speakers at the same time though, which is pretty common, pretty standard. You don't want to do that. You will present too low of a resistance to your amp if you do that. So just one set of 4 ohms at a time, please. Moving into phonos, can handle 2 phonos. Of those, they both need to be cartridges, but 20 points for that. Moving on into additional sources, it can handle 3 more. That's two tape and then 1 auxiliary. Then let's see, it has the balance and loudness controls functions, so 5 points each. Moving into tone controls, lots of tone controls here. That's some additional functions that it has that I don't give extra points for, but there are some additional tweaking you can do to tone control. But it does have tone defeat, which is nice. If you just want to stop any of that, you can hit one switch and cut that off. So 10 points. Bass, mid, and treble. You don't get mid very often, and so this gives you the additional control of the mid, so it has 5 points each. If you're going to do recording, this is probably the most important feature, which is a high-low filter switch. Get 10 points for that. Has the pre-out amp in connections on the back, or capability on the back. And if you do want to hook up an EQ, or you for some reason would like to use this as just a preamp and then a different amp on the back, you can certainly do that because it has that capability. So 20 points for that. Has the awesome optional wood case. So I think I have pretty much a wood case for all of my units. There's one up here that I think doesn't have a wood case, but I have it in the back. But nice to have. I very much like the wood of vintage gear. That's one reason I really like it. So nice option there. 20 points. Has a one switched, one unswitched AC connections on the back, so that's 10 and 5 points respectively. And then lastly, speaker connections. It can handle 2 sets. Reminder, not 2 4 ohm speakers. So that is it, all totaled up here. We get 220 points, which is on the lower end of, I'll say, the larger receivers. I think some of the other ones were, SX1010 is 250, and there's some that have the Yamahas went up. But of the, I'll say, over 100 watt receivers, this is probably on the lower end, but it does, have a nice feature set of what it does have. I think is all the most important stuff, with the exception of MC cartridges. That's probably the one thing that that's lacking here. That would be nice to have to sort of be fully featured, I'll say. But nonetheless, a great receiver, and I think combined, the cool looks and the power you get here. For me anyway, I don't know that I would need anything else. I think it pretty much does everything, which is, why I think this is now my favorite Marantz for my collection. I think that's kind of it. And I was going to bring you guys something new this week, something else this week. I didn't plan to do this. I was trying to get you something else, but that didn't work out. I'm still working on it. I don't know if I'll have it next week or not. But in any case, I've got something cool next week. Again, this is the 1-year anniversary of Stereo Niche in October. So just trying to give you something cool. Got quite a few interesting vids coming down the pipe. New things that I wanted to continue bringing to you, not just gear, but some other topics and some other things I think you'll find very interesting. So taking some time to get those things together. But once I do, I think you'll pretty much, very much enjoy it. I'll try to do them as often as I can. Once you see them, it'll be sort of a whole special series, if you will. So that's pretty much it. Don't want to miss those. Hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in.